Miyazaki Prefecture, Japan, May 2014. At the historic Byakanojo Shimazu residence, the mummified remains of a sea animal with webbed hands and feet are put on public display. Discovered in 1818, the bones are the first of their kind to be exhibited and are purported to be from the legendary Kappa, a species of amphibious humanoid creatures believed to lurk in the waters of Japan.
These remains were from allegedly a kappa that had been shot in 1818 near a local river. The kappa, which translates as water child, is a creature that is usually about 5 feet in height, has scaly skin, and is usually blue or green in color. It has a turtle shell on its back and a beak, as well as a kind of plate on the top of its head in which it always has to carry water. If it spills this water, then it loses all of its power and it can die within a very short period of time. So the kappa is basically a water demon.
The kappa is perceived to be a very malevolent and quite violent creature. And in fact, children are warned to stay away from bodies of water because the kappa will actually drag them in and drown them.
While accounts of the kappa are rare in modern times, there are still sightings in remote areas, like the Fukuoka Prefecture. In fact, to this day, signs can be found posted near bodies of water throughout Japan, warning of the kappa. For ancient astronaut theorists, the kappa are not only real, but their existence is proof of otherworldly beings inhabiting the Earth's waters.
These Kappa are reported as having an unusual intelligence. Apparently they can speak even though they have a bird-like beak. And now physical, tangible artifacts of the body of the Kappa have gone on display. Will we find genetic markers that clearly show that it could not be something from Earth?
Could it be that the kappa are indigenous to planet Earth? Or did they come here by some extraterrestrial means? Perhaps the answer can be found by examining the many historical accounts of mermaids. The very earliest accounts of mermaid-like creatures reveal a connection with beings that come from the sky. A story from ancient Syria that dates back to 1000 BC relates that the goddess Atargatis came down from the sky and dove into a lake to become a half-fish, half-human creature. And in Greek mythology, the goddess Aphrodite is sometimes associated with mermaid-like beings.
If you look at some of the ancient classic authors, from the Greeks, from the Sumerians, you see tales of mermaids in which there is a very direct connection with the heavens, with a fish-like creature that comes from outer space. There's something out there that may not even be connected to our known biological world.
For ancient astronaut theorists, the strongest evidence that humanoid sea creatures not only existed, but came from somewhere beyond our Earth, can be found in the origin tale of yet another aquatic creature with human traits. The West African Dogons worship ancestral spirits they call the Nommo, the first living creatures created by their sky god, Amma. Described as amphibious, hermaphroditic, fish-like creatures, they descended from the stars in a vessel accompanied by fire and thunder.
There's a really incredible story of the Nommo that descended from the sky in a loud, noisy whirlwind that made the earth shake when it landed. And their knowledge of everything was given to them by that being that descended in a whirlwind from the sky.
Now, this is interesting because we have so many traditions of extraterrestrial beings riding upon clouds that you have to ask, did the Nommo come from the stars? Were they extraterrestrial beings that came to Earth to teach the Dogon? Is this perhaps why they called them the monitors and the teachers?
The legend said they described the star Sirius as being their point of origin and had very accurate information about a dwarf star called Sirius B that wasn't even known at the time. The Dogon said that when the Nommo landed and came out of this craft that they arrived in, they almost immediately got into the water. Because they were essentially fish-like humanoids, it seems that they needed to be in the water. We are definitely dealing with some sort of intelligent, aquatic, humanoid species that came here as an extraterrestrial visitor from outer space.